I'm sure that every one of us have seen or heard about psychic astrologers, the seances, the mediums, the seers, the fortune tellers, the palm readers, all this BS. I say BS because I call it like I see it. That's exactly what it is. It's just a bunch of BS. Okay? And that's what this video is mainly about, exposing them. Because, it is so amazing how stupid some people are. How they fall for this BS. These people must not read the Bible at all. Either that or they are actors for these commercials. They get their share of the money out of these commercials. It's one or the other. Maybe it's both. I don't know. But to tell you what, the truth really is, I'm doing this video, and I hope that at least one of you out there will listen to it and get something out of it. That goes for any of the other videos that I do, or the poems I write, put on Facebook or YouTube. And I am on Facebook under Darryl, DARRYL, STIDHAM MAN, Darryl Stidham. And you can reach me by email if you would like to comment. My email address is lovingyou7372 at yahoo.com. Your comments are welcome. If they're good comments, hey, they're good. They're bad, they're bad. Whatever. It's not going to make me or break me. So I'm going to go on with this video, and I hope that some of you will stand in agreement with me with everything you hear. And if you do, and you'd like to comment, please do. Like I said, you can find me on Facebook. You can find this video on Facebook as well as YouTube. And if you'd like to share it with someone, please share it with someone to enlighten them also. Thank you. On with the video. Evil spirits behind the scenes. Evil spirits behind the scenes. If they know what the future holds, why did they act such fools? By still sinning, knowing its end, that their lives they would lose. Does that make any sense to you? That they would sin, Lucifer and the angels, Lucifer now Satan, and the angels, knowing the future, that they would lose their lives in the end. That the day was coming when they would all be destroyed. I'm going to read that part again. If they know what the future holds, why did they act such fools? By still sinning, knowing its end, that their lives they would lose. As with Lucifer, God gave them free will. Those angels chose to sin. And their pride, no doubt, got them cast out from heaven like lightning. The Bible shows that they're on earth also are folks, mad, snakes, that they're ever proud. They're mad. They're like a bunch of poisonous snakes that are ever proud. So they seek whom they may consume of us vulnerable human beings. Palm readers, seers, mediums, they're fakes. They are fakes. Truths they do tell come from demons, always scheming, who know our past so well. They studied us from the beginning, and they know, they can pretty much predict how we'll act, things we'll say, things we'll do, just from studying us. And they've had a long time to study mankind. Some of their predictions, let me read that again. Some of their, quote, predictions, unquote, do come true. These readers, seers and mediums and stuff, simply from studying man. And what I mean there is some of the predictions that these evil spirits make through these seers and mediums and everything, they do come true, simply from studying man. So let's go back and read that again. Palm readers, seers, mediums, they're fakes. Truths they do tell. Truths they do tell come from demons always scheming. Come from demons always scheming, who know our past so well, or who can predict us so well. Some of their predictions do come true, simply from studying man, because they've closely watched our nature since human life began. Paranormal activities, strange things like seeing ghosts, are just some of the other wiles of the tricky, deceitful host. How they do know that time is short, a real seer can see. In Matthew chapter 24 are key futurity. They see their end for their great sin, for causing such misery. So they will sin until the end, non-stop, behind the scenes. Yeah, they can see their end. And they know that their end is coming because of the key futurities in the Bible. Satan knows the Bible cover to cover. And God told him in the Old Testament, and you can check it out in the book of Ezekiel 28:16, that he was going to destroy him. He said, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherub. So Satan already knew he was going to be destroyed. And the times, the signs of the times, he knows that his time is short. Just from seeing the times of the signs of the times himself, he knows that his time is short. You notice that the Bible said that in Revelation, which is the last book of the Bible, it mentioned that Satan knows his time is short. Well, he's had time to figure that out. The signs of the time told him that. And this is the reason why he is so mad, he and his angels, and why they're going to keep sinning until the end. Because their end is coming. Their end is coming. If you noticed, I mentioned in the poem the key futurities that let Satan know he know where he knows his time is short. It's how he knows his time is short. Okay. Matthew 24, 3 through 5 reads, as he was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples approached him privately and said, tell us, when will this happen? And what sign will there be of your coming and of the end of the age? Or in other words, the end of Satan's evil system of things. Jesus said to them in reply, see that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name saying, I am the Messiah, and will deceive many. Now, just as Satan and his angels have watched humans since the beginning, like I said, they also know the Bible cover to cover. No doubt they've learned it. They learned it to cunningly mix lies with the truth, to use it against God and to confuse mankind. 2 Corinthians 11:14 says, and no wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. Other key futurities in the Bible that Satan shows how Satan knows his time is short include Matthew 24, 6 through 14. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not alarmed. For these things must happen, but it will not yet be the end of the age. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes from place to place. All these are the beginning of labor pains. They will hand you over to persecution, and they will kill you. You will be hated by all nations because of my name. Because of my name. And then many will be led into sin, and they will betray and hate one another. Many false prophets will arise and deceive many. And because of the increase of evildoing, the love of many will wax cold, or will grow cold. But the one who perseveres to the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached throughout the world as a witness to all nations. That means that it will be something for all the nations to witness. And it will be a witness against the people who it was witnessed, who were witness to it being witnessed to them. It will be preached throughout the world as a witness to all nations. And then the end will come. Well, if we can see these things, then Satan can surely see the things that are happening. You know, of course he can. He's got a lot to do with a lot of things that have been happening. So he surely knows. Okay. God predicted it, and this is just another way to let you know how Satan knows that his time is short. Okay. And you know, this is another subject, but I'm going to get into it. I just want to mention it here. Because Jesus, a lot of people think Jesus is God. Jesus is not God. Jesus is a representation of God. Okay. To prove that he is not God, he said in Matthew, and I don't know exactly where it is off the top of my head, but he said in Matthew that only the Father knows when the end will be. Only the Father knows. Not even the angels in heaven know this information. If Jesus was God, he would know this information. If Jesus was God, he would not have prayed to himself in the Garden of Eden. Of Gethsemane. Excuse me, not the Garden of Eden, but the Garden of Gethsemane. Just think about this. This is something I'm going to talk about in a later discussion. But for now, these are things that you need to know why Satan does not know the future. And, these mediums and psychics and all these people that are claiming that they can tell you what's going to happen in the future. No, they don't know. They do not know the future. Where do you think they get their information from? God doesn't even condone those practices. So whatever information they're getting is false information. Okay? In Matthew 24, 32 and 33, it says, learn a lesson from the fig tree. When its branch becomes tender and sprouts leaves, you know that summer is near. In the same way, when you see all these things, know that he is near at the doors. Now, also, I'm going to get back into this. Before the books Matthew and Revelation were written in the New Testament, it was written in the Old Testament in Ezekiel 28:16. Go back to that verse, that God told Satan something that he could be sure of, which was, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherub. And destroy means do away with. It's a done deal. So another subject I'm going to get to is the everlasting fire. No, it's not going to be an everlasting fire. It's going to be to accomplish its purpose. It's going to seem like it's forever and ever to them. But it will be to accomplish its purpose. Once its purpose is accomplished, that is done. So no, they will not be burning forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. That is something that you have to realize. The Bible is symbolic, and but Satan and his angels will be tormented. They will be tormented as long as the fire lasts. They will be tormented, and I'm sure their fire is going to last a lot longer than any fire. That's the fire that's going to burn up people in the end. Now, I want to talk about this, and I'll be through. My poem also talks about the evil spirits pretending to be dead people, which is exactly what Satan, pretending to be the spirit of dead Samuel, did, and how he fooled Saul. Saul lost the heart after Satan, pretending to be Samuel's ghost, told him he would be killed in battle. Well, who wouldn't in Saul's shoes? God had already turned his back on Saul. Moreover, God does not condone seers, like I said, and the like. And since the dead know nothing, you can check this out in Ecclesiastes 9:5. It wasn't Samuel who told Saul that he would die in battle. The whole clever, misleading act was meant to completely discourage Saul, and that's exactly what it eventually did. You know, if we ignore the tricks of the enemy and remain idle, we open ourselves up for occasions to be deceived, to be attacked by Satan and his angels. So the Bible tells us in 1 Peter 5:8 that we are to be self-controlled and alert. That means to not be drunk, to not be on drugs, to not be caught up in the ways of the world, to where we're not thinking. You know, we are to be self-controlled and alert, because the Bible goes on to say in 1 Peter 5:8, your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Now, because Satan knows the Bible cover to cover, he can twist the truth, and he does, by cleverly adding lies to it. You know, and he's influencing the minds of the weak, the gullible, the willfully ignorant. When I say weak, I mean like drug addicts and people who drink and or drink too much, and the unlearned, the weak, the gullible, the willfully ignorant, and the unlearned. And not only does he mislead them, he uses them as instruments to hurt and mislead others in the world, to hurt and or mislead others in the world. Okay. He uses the unlearned preacher to confuse, to mislead people in society. And, if we are to study, well, first we are told to study to show ourselves approved. Okay. A lot of these preachers don't do that. They just take things at face value, not remembering that the Bible is highly symbolic, especially Revelation. And Jesus spoke in parables, so you have to be able to decipher what certain things mean. You have to put precept upon precept, line upon line, and figure out what things mean. Okay? It's just like the comma that was misplaced in where Jesus told the criminal on the cross, "Truly I tell you, today you will be in paradise." The comma in the common Bible shows that the comma was placed before today instead of after it, where it should have been placed. And this holds true because if you look at, I believe it's John 20:17 or John 17:20. I'm learning the Bible, so don't quote me on the verses until you look them up yourself. But it's where Mary Magdalene was clinging to Jesus when she saw him, and he told her, "Do not cling to me, for I have not yet ascended to my Father." That comma was placed in Luke, I believe it was 43:23, by an uninspired man of God, an uninspired man. And it causes a lot of confusion. It makes people think that, well, I can do this, do that, and mess up all my life, and then just before I die, I can ask God for forgiveness, and He'll forgive me just like the criminal on the cross. No, that is not what that meant, and that is not the paradise that Jesus was talking about. He was talking about the paradise on earth that the devil dwarfed it. That got dwarfed it because of the lie of Satan that Satan told. God did not give up on that paradise because Satan came along and messed it up. That's like God saying, "Okay, well, Satan beat me out of that. I guess I'll just forget about it." No. That paradise is still going to be in the future, and that's the paradise that Jesus was talking about, bringing the criminal back to, who was repentant, to see how he's going to live, to see if he's going to be able to make it through the judgment day with good favor, to be able to live in paradise forever on earth. Okay. As I was saying, he uses the unlearned preacher to confuse and mislead people in society. And that is one teaching that they use to do so. We are to study to show ourselves approved. And a lot of these preachers, if you tell them what I just said, they'll look at you like, well, they'll try to shun their way out of it some kind of way. You talk about the comma being misplaced and about if Jesus went to paradise that day, why did he tell Mary Magdalene that he didn't go to paradise? Or why did he tell her that he had not yet ascended to his Father? Okay, there's a heavenly paradise and there's an earthly paradise. Let's not get the two confused. Okay, we're told to put on the whole armor of God. to shield ourselves against the fiery darts of the devil, so that we can withstand temptations and to not fall by the wayside or on the way or the way of the world, i.e., smoking, getting on drugs, promiscuous sex, just worldly things that can get us caught up and messed up or worse. And now I want to go back and say that here is proof that the everlasting fire here's proof that the everlasting fire will indeed go out after it accomplishes its purpose. God told Satan that he is going to destroy him. Destroy means to end something or cause it to be destroyed. Okay. How can you be destroyed or something be destroyed if it's going to keep on living and just burning forever? You know, it would make sense for it to keep burning. It wouldn't make sense for it to keep burning if it is destroyed. So why would it keep on burning forever if it's destroyed? No, he's going to burn. Him and the angels are going to burn until they are destroyed. And the things that they've done, well, I think they're burning. Their punishment. They warranted a greater punishment to be in the fire longer than people on earth. So they will, to them, it's going to seem like an everlasting fire. Even to the people who are burning, who get burned up. Because a lot, nobody wants to die. And everybody, the more you hang on to life, it's going to seem like forever that you're burning. Or whoever burns. It's going to seem like forever to them because they do not want to die. And hanging on to life is just going to prolong it. The torture, the agony. It'll be the same way with Satan and his angels. That's what I believe. Because one thing or the other is true. If they're going to be burning forever, then they're not going to be destroyed. They'll just be burning. They'll just be tormented. But God said that He will destroy him. Okay? The second death. Death means death. Death is the opposite of life. So you think about that. Line upon line, precept upon precept. One thing or the other is true. That means they can't be true at the same time. Either one thing or the other is true. So you figure it out. If God can't lie, like the Bible says, that He can't lie, then there must be another logical explanation to what He's talking about. And since the Bible is symbolic, well, let's put it together that way. The Bible is like a big puzzle. You have to take a piece here, take a piece from there, and once you start putting it together, you start to see the whole picture of what the Bible is talking about. It's like a symbolic puzzle that you have to put together. And once you start putting it together, line upon line, precept upon precept, this piece goes with this piece, and so forth. Then you start to see the whole picture of what the Bible is talking about. Now, this particular video is rather long because I discussed some things in it that I hadn't originally planned to, but just thought I would, just so you know what to expect. And these things you can think on. You can turn turn the video off. You can just think on it, put the video back on another day, or run it back. Listen to it again. Listen to it again. The more you listen to it, the more it will make sense to you. The things that I'm saying. You put these things together, and they will you'll start seeing the picture of what I'm talking about. You'll start seeing the truth of what really is. But in order for you to learn, sometimes you have to study it over and over. You have to study it, just like you're in class. You have to keep studying it. And the more you do, it'll start making sense. And then it'll be where you could teach someone the things that you're learning. And I think that's the way God wants things to be. When he said, go out into the world and teach all nations, that's what he meant. Don't just preach to the nations, teach the nations. And in order for you to teach things, you have to break down what the teaching is all about, so they'll understand the teaching. You have to break down what a certain thing is about, so they will understand what you are trying to teach them. That's the only way for a person to know how to figure out a problem, is you break the problem down, the elements of the problem. And you show those elements, and then you show them how this problem is solved. You teach them. You can't just say, well, X equals 8B and tell them to figure it out. That's just like the preacher telling you, well, Jesus said the criminal went to paradise, but John said that in John, Mary Magdalene, Christ told her, don't hold on to me, because I haven't yet ascended to the Father. And just keep on, it's like a preacher, just keep on reading. He won't even go back and cover the part about Jesus went to heaven supposedly with the criminal on the cross the day they died. They just keep on with this is the kindergarten understanding of the Bible they give you. It's like they're reading and telling you you guys figure it out, or they're saying, in effect, I'm so stupid that I just read all over that. I didn't even go backtrack or nothing about the other thing, huh? Dumb. Study to show yourself approved. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't. You know what? If you're not going to be about it, don't talk about it. If you're gonna talk the talk, walk the walk. Sometimes you got to walk backwards and see where you misstepped, okay, or see what you stepped in and clean it up. All right. So, or when you realize you stepped in something that you did not clean up, you got to backtrack and find it, and hey, you got to do something about it. And this is all I'm going to discuss in this talk on evil spirits behind the scenes. Excuse me, did I just belch a little bit there? I think I did. Well, you know what? I'm going to leave it in there because that's what Satan wants me to do, to stop or to erase something. I think we all make little belches here and there, so excuse me. I'll just say that. And I'm going to leave the video the way it is. And I look forward to making more videos about the Bible or things in the Bible, and hopefully you'll listen to them. But not until I know will I let you know what I think. Thank you for listening. And by all means, listen to it again. Listen to these tapes again, these videos again. And if I'm wrong somewhere, please let me know. Feel free to correct me.